to do the setup. I'm going to make sure I have all comments. I shouldn't have done that, but it's okay. A couple more pushes, and I've got all comments, shall I? If they show to me. This is the thing. I really, you know what I'm going to do for a moment here? And I really would like to show to me. Don't want to bend that. Okay. Good. At 33, good. Okay. Uh, so I'm just going to wait for viewers. I'm going to do some kind of additional setup. My phone's been a bit finicky to kind of get it all propped up and charging. So I didn't want to type the title on this, for instance. So I'm going to do that quickly. Oh, right, that. Uh, and that's amazing. And that's amazing as well. That's way over there. Okay, it was just something about 5 minutes there or whatever. Anyway. Okay. Let's wait out the new one. And maybe she'd like me to reach out. Maybe she should, but I know that that's been a bit mixy. So I kind of think, if she is deciding she needs more time off of work, and she is, thankfully, she is just thinking something through and out loud kind of helps sometimes. She is, or she's, I'll say this right off the hop. When I'd really rather there be people here listening though, so I'm going to wait and you can hopefully check along. I'm also trying to remember what I'm trying to do if when this computer behaves. But also here too. I think I'll just put them as I think of them though, to be honest. Didn't pull the outside, don't see anything, but it's by me. I mean, his did pretty good. I'm not sure if he was the one that liked my comment on his video. I kind of want to watch it, but I'm doing this right now. But I'm just going to send him a really quick hello. He might have just started. Am I the only one here? I am. Oh my goodness. Watching his at the moment. But I've seen he has quite a few viewers. And then I saw a comment come in, and it was like, I thought it was to me at first. I was curious what he has to say to this. Because he is reading the comments. I don't normally do this, but I will come back to that video later. Right now I'm trying to do this one. So, okay, so, sorry. It's just when I came to do this, I got a sense, even though nothing really gave it to me other than that I hoped to be the case, I got a sense that this tab, which was at the end of the row, showing as a new tab ready to be opened, this tab loaded much quicker, even though I slid it where I slid it. And now it's not next to the Just Anymore. But if that's your name, then I think that even if it's not, I feel like you're meant to hear this. So you're meant to be here. I'm happy to have you here. The person left, or at least it looks like they did, but it's whatever. Okay, so just really quickly, I'm going to add the title in to the chat there because some people will come to this scrolling, and I want them to know. I'm going to keep it simple, something like is one of the most important things to remember about life and death. I don't know if I want. What I don't know is if I want to capitalize either of those. That's what I'm not sure to make it stand out. And then if I'm able to, then get in the phone, I might be able to put emojis, but I don't know what kind of emojis I put. I also could add a thumbnail. And it's good for me to do these things myself and to figure them out and learn them and everything. Anyway, I pretty much just like careful preaching on the street, blah, blah. That's what some people like it. He says the Word of God is everything. Everything. I feel a little bit awkward, though, because although he is about love and kindness, but I feel a little bit awkward. Uh,
Word of God, God has placed.
I'll give it a like. I'll hit the notification. Well, it's showing me anyway, so maybe I won't because, truth be told, even though he's living in a hotel right now, he's otherwise living on the streets. I don't know. That's not meant to be a certain way. This is the thing. I don't think my loved ones would like say, "Oh, his mind went in a certain spot," and I'm not. It's just the way that it paused and the way that the hands were positioned. But anyway, point of the matter is that my angels are angels. Any of us, that have lost loved ones, they're not really. They don't judge us very much, and that's a lovely thing. I think sometimes they maybe think that we're hard on ourselves. I feel sometimes they maybe think um, that that we are stressing too much about stuff or something like that. But I mean, that's an interesting image. I'm not sure if I like it though. Let's see here. That's a very interesting image. Not sure if I like it though either. Just kidding. This was especially interesting actually. I'm not really sure. I know what that kind of looks like, and I feel mixed about it. I'm not really sure. Let's go with this. No, I don't like how he's holding his hands actually. Um, I just wanted to add a image to the still. I mean, depends on people's devices, I guess. Some people, when they hover on something, maybe more so a computer, I guess, it will move around. Other people will see the still until they click play. I actually really like this image. I'm going to go with this one. So just a moment here. How do I do it again? Okay. Something should have popped up there. Is it the process of bringing it up, or where is it? Because it made that noise, making that noise, not even opening it when I click it, and I'm not sure what that means. I don't have to put any like TXT or anything there, I guess. Okay, there it is. YouTube. Sorry for the slow start. I mean, I did do an hour one, and I wasn't super duper awake, but that's not, the point. I'd really rather just be here while people while I'm here. Um, I don't remember some of those. I do remember some, but I'm also going to do this, I think. Yeah, speaking of. It's true, some people may see that as a vortex. I don't know, but it's interesting because the water in the thing I showed in the previous one. For now, if anybody has any other suggestions they'd like to give as far as what to, you know, like as far as like search this to find this or like just describe an image, I might go with it, but I don't want to spend a lot of time doing this. And and I want to jump into the topic. There was two people here. There's now one. I will be back. I will be back on the this video on the laptop as well in a moment. If comments aren't showing up there, hopefully they will here. On the weekend, I'll have an additional device. Yes, I have it plugged in. I shouldn't touch this device just in case it comes loose. And I do have a couple things pre-thought of. I'd like to say, but at the moment, I'm just adding an image to the still. And this is the way I actually prefer it, even though I also saved it as an image, since it is one and all. But yeah, you can, oh, maybe you can't actually, I didn't put it there yet. Yeah, that's the image, boom. You may or may not see this while you're watching live, but that's fine. And then, okay, that seems to be taking a little bit of time. So I'm going to come to this over here. Okay, and we'll get into the topic in a moment. I'm just kind of, what I'm doing next is going to put the title of this into the comments, because as I say, for those that scroll and might not see it otherwise, including the duration, which is just a little more than 10 minutes, then you'll see it. I'm so glad to have you both here. I hope that you're doing well today. I hope that life is treating you kindly. Um, this is what we're talking about for the most part. And the other person left, they didn't even seem to get a like, but sometimes the likes have been a bit wonky lately, so I've heard. But maybe their phone died. Anyway, uh, so what are the little bit of thoughts that I've thought of already with on this topic? And then, I really do want to tilt that damn thing. But I mean, it looks fine to you, I'm sure. It's just I'm now seeing some of the stuff that's on the screen kind of in front of me a little bit. But okay, you tried to be patient. That's fine. I don't understand. Trying to be patient, waiting is the hardest. Like, gee, he'll go to the corner where it's letting him cross instead of waiting. Except the other day, he decided he'd be willing to, instead of waiting for it to change and cross. But we did have to be on that side of the street anyway. Anyway, so I had a couple of thoughts on this topic. I welcome yours, while live or after, and let's have a lovely conversation. Even though it's a somewhat deep topic, let's do some healing. Let's play some music. Let's make it a great experience for both all of us. And was I too excited? Because it looks like that person left, but maybe I'm wrong. Uh, and yeah, so we got somebody here, and I'm glad to see that. And maybe you were just here a moment ago, maybe you weren't, but either way, I'm glad you're here now. And basically, okay, it looks like you left, but yet there's also a comment that just came in. Good to see you, and sounds good. What I don't see is the pinned comment. Uh, but I do see it there. So, anyway. So, I appreciate people's patience, or at least, being willing to kind of come into this video a bit and hear what gets said. I'm going to remind us and actually put it in the comments as well, I think, too. I'm going to quote my friend. It's interesting. I know that she said this phrase. I fairly quickly remembered that she did, but yet there's still a part of me that's kind of like surprised that I held on to it in a way. I don't know if her angelic soul reminded me of it, uh, but uh, but um, but I think it's a good reminder for everybody. Looks like our dog, who has recently been on a walk, wants to go outside. So he's pretty insistent. Well, anybody that sees this after the fact, and there's cars in the parking lot, humbugs anyway. I hate putting him out there and him just barking at people because he can kind of see out the yard a little bit. But, that's not an uncommon thing about yards and dogs and that. But you know what? I'm trying to focus on this, and he was barking in here, and I won't keep him at it for too long. And in his language, he's probably just saying, "Hey, have a good day. Hey, how's it going? Have a good day." You know, he's probably very similar as a dog to the way we are as people, and not just him. I would say a lot of dogs are, and you know, dogs obviously have anxiety. I would say necessarily more, but yeah, I think I brought that one upstairs, didn't I? I think I did. Because I finished off that other one. I feel like there was another one. I know we want to order one. But I guess it'll be tomorrow, although tomorrow's going to be a really busy day, but I don't know if I have an order in chapstick. I do appreciate that second day also to wait till Sunday. But anyway. So, he's not being too noisy there at least. Um, that is really, really odd though. And the explanation I'm getting makes sense actually. And it's basically just saying because we already know, and it's just reaffirming what you know about us. Uh, so basically, the few. Okay. Uh, sorry, I myself am feeling a little tight-chested, and that does affect the breathing. Those two things do go together, and it's almost a segue. So I'm going to hop right into this here. Hell, it took me 20 minutes, doing a couple setup things and getting settled in, basically. But anyway, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So, this is a message for all of us because you know what? The truth is, we all live and we all die. You know, or pass away, as I prefer to say. Um, and so, feel the feels. Let's talk about it. Like I didn't come to you to talk about life and death, or just to hear about life and death. Well, but you're in the road experiencing life, and it's never promised. That's the thing. But you've already left, so whatever. But at least it looks like you have. But should I maybe start with what precipitated me to bring this up? Other than that, I've lost a lot of loved ones, and as much as it gets easier, it doesn't as well. Um, and I've certainly went through more loss to passings and some others, uh, as people tend to. But then somebody my age, and really than anybody should have went through. And I'm not going to say that there aren't people that have been through worst, but this is when I think that advice of not comparing yourself to others is somewhat helpful. That ideology, I think I said two there actually, can be a good thing, but it really yeah, at least it's nighttime there for her. That's nice, even with the times different, done no difference. Um, Actually, out of pure curiosity, it okay. So she's just getting home from work, probably. Depending on how far away she lives from work, she might already be there. But okay, the dog, hearing him out there doing that is also annoying. Come on in, please. Come on in. Don't make me step out. Come on. I'm wearing socks. Now, do you have that thing still? Where did I put it? On the counter? I don't know. Is somebody there? I'm just going to plug in this other phone. This one is plugged in, but this, the landline phone. And I was looking for something to give the dog to chew on, but I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Here. Chew all this. No, stop. You gotta come take it, Sonny. Come on. Just in case you haven't got it out of your system yet. Okay, so what transpired this video was I have a really great YouTube connection that whatever that was going through some health issues, and uh, matters to me. I think the best thing to do is just watch the obituary. Matters to me, and found out today. On it. Maybe she thought, of course she did, or maybe she felt bad that it did. I don't know. But she also said God bless, but she does fairly often. Anyway, because that's the way she likes to speak. Just as soon as I sit down and plug that in, I'm not. I shouldn't say I'm not expecting a comment. Shut up, please. Sorry. Hush. Hush. Hello. Hello. It is, eh? You sound pretty British, but we're in Canada. Not that British people aren't, but not that I have anything against British people either. but it was just. Well, it was at one bar, so I'd like to look at it. Hopefully the dog will lay down, because I just sat down and don't know where his chew stick is. Hopefully he sees it. Anywho. Yes, he looks like he's going to settle down there, thankfully. Life can be hectic sometimes, eh? Even in smaller ways sometimes. I'm sorry. I did a stream earlier. It's early. It's just about 10 o'clock. Chapstick if you're curious. Chapstick if you're not. That should be one of the things. But then I don't know how I'm going to do it with the title and with the thing. I really don't know. And I mean, it's second nature, and it's a quick and easy thing to say. So I'll just leave that at that. Um, oh. So I don't want to lose people's focus, attention. That's the thing. I've had some coffee. The sun is actually quite bright. I've had some coffee, but it's early. I don't usually have a full cup every morning, but my throat's a bit dry and I'm really tempted. The dog may have just settled down in the foyer, but hopefully he won't get up just because I'm heating up. That's one time he sometimes does it. If he can kind of, even when I'm in the kitchen, like if I'm not in there for very long and he can see me a little bit, he'll sometimes stay laying out in the foyer. I think I am going to have a bit more coffee today. It's early. It's Friday. If we can't sleep in a lot tomorrow. We can extend our nap, perhaps, but I have just enough time for a bit of a buffer, a bit of sleeping in, and a bit of sleeping in, and a bit of sleeping out. Will that be ironic? That guy tuned in next. One thing I am happy is that he's in a safe spot. A safe place right now for the most part. I don't know how the noise level is. I don't know this and that. But you know what? It does kind of show that even God's people are not mistreated about him. Or like that he's just not almighty. You know, and he still loves the Lord. And that's great for him. And I don't hate that either, the Lord. You know, I'm agnostic. This is not meant to be religious. I'm just heating up coffee. I'll be right there. Horses, literally. No, I don't mean literally. You might not have horses tomorrow. Oh. Oh. Another minute and a half. There's not a lot of room for milk there. Unfortunately, there's too much in the jug to just bring it to fill it there. It's not like it's completely, not that I'm, racist at all, including with coffee, but I'm curious while I'm waiting. Is anybody here? Nope, then I'm going to save my breath. Doesn't taste the greatest. I think I'd really rather have it with food. Today I didn't make a great one. The first one may have been okay. I don't know. I had it with food. And I'm not quite ready to have lunch yet, so I don't know what to tell myself. Oh, Marianne, you don't care if we share the same cup, eh? What do I? Haha. It's like, I don't know, do you? I'm kind of not wanting to wait much longer for this, and the fact that I'm rolling, and the fact, but the whole reason I came up here and did this, because my throat was a bit sore. So, yeah, and you know what? I'll put this in this special cup. So I'm just heating up my coffee, and then I'll be here to chat. But one thing that I am going to add is um, that the YouTube community, really matters and really is important to those of us on here, those of us that watch live streams, create live streams, and the communities that we build. Um, and so I'm happy to have you here as part of ours. Uh, and don't be shy. I'm just going to get my coffee, and then we'll get into the topic. It really relates to everybody, folks. It really does. Honestly, I feel that most people, evil people, when they go to hell, maybe they don't do that. I don't know. I don't know what to think of that, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about white light, energy, healing, working through emotions. Not always easy. Light stuff too, sure, but for sure, these things. And what inspired me to do this video today is that even just holding the warm cup is help, but that doesn't help my throat or anything. So I'll have a few sips. But the way it turned out, I'd rather have it with food, and I have already had my first meal of the day, and it's too early for the next one. Well, actually, it's not bad. It's not bad. Anywho, were those two likes? Yeah, they were. But I hope that you might like as well. Anyway, I have this YouTube connection. Speaking of the YouTube community, who has been really great, really lovely, and the other day she came into my video briefly, and she said that she was having breathing issues in chest. And if she hears this, if she comes back or she's watching again now, because she has kind of a flexible schedule, even though it's cool. Chopstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not, by the way. She probably, was thinking, I just came in a little earlier today and told him that I'm feeling a lot better. But this is where my mind went a little afterwards. Great to hear that. Is she going to continue to feel better? I have been through a lot of loved ones passing away, like I say, more than my share. Um, and lost in general, we should all be trying to bring about goodness for each other, especially fellow good souls. And she does that, and I do my best to do that. And I thought, like, is she going to continue to stay well? And anybody for that matter. Um, and we might not. We can't always know that, or we can't always know it fully. But then I remembered something else that I fairly strongly believe and talk about fairly often on here. If she didn't, and she passed away, I do believe in angels. I do. I have had visitations of my loved ones and occasionally other people's. And I know that I'm just going to make sure that all chat is displaying on here. And if something isn't displaying, like I'm truly not ignoring, and I'm actually going to put that here just so you know. Usually it works, but like I say, sometimes I'll wrap up and it says it has a certain number of chats. The one the other day did so well that I still think it was maybe a little inaccurate, but I don't know why it would say more than there is. And that's what I seem to think it was. Like it was 200 something, and I think it was closer to the lower end of 200, but that's still pretty good. Uh, but anyway, basically, so I'm just going to put here a little, I mean, I don't want to unpin that, but until the chat gets more active and people are talking with us on the topic, once this has been rolling a bit longer and, you don't feel shyness, then yeah. But I'm just going to put this here. That's really her. Really, I'd be interested to see her, Rocky, because I haven't ever. Not ignoring any comments. If they don't show up, I'm not seeing them. Someone else will have to tell, or put after video is posted. I appreciate your appreciate all lovely comments, and I'm not. I mean, I might not appreciate some, but if they're lovely, I will. I'm not picking faves. I'm not picking faves. I'm picking my nose. Just kidding. Okay, there we go. So, basically, but as long as I have them, it's back onto top chat. Okay, there we go. I appreciate your patience. I truly do. And this particular friend, uh, she her title. I'll just say this quickly. Made it sound like she was having some sort of party in her video. No, she's just sitting there chatting with her chat like she usually does. She's probably having a good time, but certainly don't look like no party. But you know what? This isn't meant to either. This is meant to be. We can have a good chat. We can have a good time. We can do lots of healing. We can maybe even do some music in this. But truly, this is about, about what the title says. Uh, you know, about life and death. And I know that's deep. But basically, yeah, what I thought of when I thought, what if my friend passed away? Well, like a lot of my other loved ones, even though it's not, for me, all the time that I'm sensing them, and I don't know if I'd want it to be, and it's, I'm thankful for it, but honestly, it could be a lot to process sometimes, or it can be, um, deep sometimes, and that's one person that, but whatever. But in some ways, I'm kind of used to that. So and I am very thankful. And we all can. We all can. It wasn't as short as I would have planned, even though there wasn't a lot of conversation. There was some. Otherwise, it may have been half an hour. But, um, I don't want to tip this yet, but I wouldn't mind feeling the warmth a little bit. I don't want to spill it on my shirt, though. But, yeah, was an amazing sign, gift from above. I mean, not a lot of details, although it took me a while to get to them, and I finally did near the latter part of the previous video. But I tell you, woo! Just even I, with these things I'm saying here, was slightly amazed. Of course, when I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought, what other gifts, like items and gifts, you know, and it may seem weird, when a lot of us lose loved ones, we're usually pretty close to them, and we have their items. But some of them have just been friends that I just don't necessarily have items of. Uh, I did almost get a famous friend. I call him famous. He's more humble than that, but whatever. I mean, I'm not saying that famous people aren't, but um, I almost got a small instrument from him, as well as I don't know. I mean, also things get divvied up amongst family members sometimes, and as special as these things and these items are, I mean, the truth be told, what's most important and special is the memories, what we hold in our hearts, and also, like I say, if we sense them around. And I do believe we all can, or we can all find people that truly can to help us notice that and hear what we need to hear from loved ones, and yeah, yeah, I don't know how to say that differently, so I think that does pretty well. I'm going to take a pause for a moment. You can skip ahead if you're curious, because, like I say, I plan to chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. I plan to. Um, but if I say it a lot, that's where I'd rather have it typed. But how can I have both the title highlighted? I mean, I could say in the description. Do people look at the descriptions all that often, as opposed to just watching the videos? One thing I do, well, I do and I don't want to do more of is chaptering. I think it's handy, but other than that, but again, we can collab. I'm totally open to that. Otherwise, it's inspiration. Do your own thing, people. Right? I appreciate that, please. Respect, even though it's on the internet, respect my content as I would respect yours. Um, I just feel like I need to put that out there because, some people, everybody wants to edit people's things. Everybody wants to, you know, make stuff theirs and sometimes tweak things, and like for instance this, some people might like just put me on loop doing that. I hate to actually put that idea out there, but if you realize that actually, some people actually do get chapped lips, but it's not only that. I have anemia. Okay, so like, can you imagine, like, and it's a deficiency in something, and I'm working to improve it, and I think I'll be able to. But can you imagine having a tingling sensation on your lips, or just feeling awkward if you didn't use this? Because I do. Um, I have noticed there's been a couple times, like when I'm, angry with someone, and I'm trying not to move around too much or be distracting or whatever. I've noticed sometimes I'll ignore it, and it does seem to normalize a little bit, but it's much better to do this. Hello, Amy Law. Okay, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. Uh, your name is familiar. I don't think you follow Ginge. But I was just looking at your channel the other day. I get so easily distracted, and I apologize. But I think I noticed that you are live, and I think I subscribed to you. Um, Not that I know of. Sorry, I'm following the comments on this screen. It's a bit closer to me. This I'm keeping charged in, and just because sometimes they don't both show in one spot. Why do you ask? Do you? Is that something that you talk about quite often on your channel? Because I do have, speaking of lost loved ones, I do have a cousin that passed of MS. I have scoliosis, mildly. I have a loved one that says, well, even though the words sound the same, that's not the same as multiple sclerosis, I guess is what the difference is. But I wouldn't be surprised if I might develop that because I don't know if you can have it, if it can kind of be diagnosed later in life. Uh, when you say as well, are you referring to you heard me mentioning some of my other health issues, or or okay, you do have okay. 2005 was quite a special year for me. Really, really. So is this my first video of mine that you've seen? Welcome to the channel, by the way. I'm thinking you probably would have, because we have that in common as well. I'm thinking you probably would have said something sooner if you had. It is okay. Well, I'm so glad to have you here. I guess you probably already have subscribed. Remember to like, and where are you watching from? I'm here in Canada. My goodness, even though I channel as well, thanks for all the love. I always appreciate hearing from other mediums. So if you feel anything, we can do a bit of a we can do a bit of uh, a, a we can channel for each other. That would be cool. Have you ever been to Canada, by the way? Anyway, so part of me just wants to talk about that for a little bit and the realness that can be, because well, there is a second person here though, and I do have a couple thoughts, and then you can add to them, and we can channel and have a great time and do some music maybe and all that stuff. So so is that what you do as like your main work, if I may ask, or and kindness and empathy is great. Uh, you've lived with MS since 2004, so quite a long time. And I'm sorry that that is probably difficult for you. Like I say, I had a cousin that had it. I really only knew him up until my teens, and then I moved to a different province. I never lived in the city anyway, but I lived closer. And then, well, okay, cool. So I'm wondering, do you know who our mutual is on here? Because there's a part of me that feels like I've we found each other because we've maybe seen each other in somebody's chat, but there's also a part of me that feels like, no, the algs are just working because of things we have in common, and that. The other person's welcome to tune in as well. I'm just going to go get my slip-ons over here. The dog sounds like he's doing pretty good. I'm just going to quickly check and try not to... Perfect. Thank you. Um, so I'm going to say a couple of things. You can say your thoughts to them, either of you. And then I'm going to sit quietly and let's see, how long ago was that? Pretty recently? I'm sorry, I don't remember. But I definitely did recognize your name, although it's more like Los Angeles than Boston, but it may be short for something. You don't have to say what. But and I believe that you're in Boston, but Boston, Massachusetts. But anyway, I'm sure it was lovely. I don't know if you remember what you were doing in that video or what I said. I'm curious, and I do appreciate you subbing back, and hopefully you've hit the notification bell. Lala, because do people say you're in La La Land just because your channel? I mean, maybe it kind of seems like that, but I don't know whether that would be an insult or not. But maybe that's what I saw. It seems to show me a lot of that. That's something I don't do, and that I don't put as much weight in onto as or as much. I feel like it's a lot more random, and I don't know. It feels different than channeling does to me. But yeah, I mean, before you're watching me for too long, I would love. You know what? I'm just going to pause for a moment now. See if you sense anything from my angels. If you can say a name, that would be great. I'll see if I can do the same thing. And then I'll say my other couple thoughts. I just don't want to get too familiar with me until you've done that, just because I believe in what you... And now that I've got you in the mode, you're like, I'm never not in the mode. That's a good question. I personally don't believe that I know a Henry. There is a detail about me which makes me say that I do remember one. I may have only known him online. I don't think he went to my school. There was one I met at a retreat thing once. I think his name was Henry. There was also a girl that there's also, and I don't mind O. Henry's. I had one recently for the first time in ages. There's also a girl I've kind of been thinking about a little bit lately, and we worked on a creative project I've been thinking about lately, and that was about a street name, though, I believe. That kind of came into things. You know what? I'm just going to put our dog upstairs. He's standing like he wants to go back outside. He was just there, and he just goes out there and barks at people. And, no, you're coming upstairs this time. And he had a walk not that long ago, so... Thank you for that. Oh. So people might be saying, I don't know, well, Gene knew a Henry. Do you perhaps have a last initial or anything you can tell me about him? Maybe you've already said here. Familiar ties. Okay, so that's not either of the ones I'm thinking. Some people may watch this, 50 minutes in or whatever, but there is one other person here. Some people may watch this and think, oh, you're just trying to find find ways that it makes sense, even if it isn't obvious. And I'll tell you why that is. When you have experiences, with the other side, and you learn how real it is, it's harder to doubt it. I also do not want to discredit someone's abilities, but this one is making me think. This one is making me think. Either that or it's someone's middle name. I mean, how often? I mean, we may. Thanks for the. Was the third like already there? I can't remember. I think that was you. We may know somebody's middle name, but we often wouldn't. So, I mean, is it a first name? Is it a middle name? Like even G, the person I live with, I don't think has an older Henry in his. I don't think that was. His in-law's been gone for ages, and he wouldn't want to hear from him probably. French ties. Okay, so this is nobody that I'm thinking of. Possibly the other person watching. Maybe it's for them. Um, Henry's kind of, yeah, it is an old name. I haven't heard that in ages. I will give you the opportunity to try again. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that one's it's not popping out to me as anybody specific. I tried though. You saw I tried, right? And I'm sure you're good at what you do. It's all I'm getting, so write it down. It's all you're getting, really. For someone like me. And I'll elaborate on that maybe later. So this Henry, I don't know if I know that phrase or not, actually. But this Henry um, has passed away or is being told to you by someone who you haven't figured out yet about someone who hasn't passed away. I know when I'm sitting here thinking that I don't think it's anyone that I know that's passed away, then I know that's very dry. I understand the statement. I understand the statement. Um, totally makes sense to say it. However, I guess one thing I will tell you about me, as we gradually do this, is that I have a very dry mouth today, and I think I'm just going to go get another cold water from the fridge. No, that's not what I was going to. Woo! Put the lap cushion on the table, and it went to slide, and but I held on to it for dear life, and I'm good. This hasn't been in super long, but it should be perfect. So, one thing I can tell you about me is connections really matter to me. Connections really matter, even with disability. Um, for instance, when you mention the name Henry, although it's not familial ties, it's true. I don't know some of my family's lineage. That is also true. I also don't really feel like I have a lot that I could ask, except for those that have passed away. Kind of, sort of. And the ones that are still living, I don't feel like they know much more than me. Perhaps. We have looked into some genealogy. I don't remember there being a Henry. Point of the matter being, is like I mentioned, well, and again, that was a street name. One was a chocolate bar. um, but there was two other people I think I mentioned. One of them was somebody that I only knew over like 3 or 4 days at a retreat thing. I did kind of connect with him sort of decently, but he was either younger than me or my age, which is not necessarily older gentleman. When you say that, I'm thinking elderly, or at least above 50. Um, That wouldn't sound odd, except for that I don't. And I'm really, really, again, I'm not discrediting you because that's not the type of person I am. And I know that this stuff can be real, but I mean, and I know the person I live with, I know some of his past pets. I'll ask. I'll ask later today. Don't really want to interrupt at work, especially since it hasn't been there that long. But but yeah. But so anyway, like I remember that person, and I haven't really been. I mean, yeah, I have a photo on my of one of my Facebook photos. Definitely not what. I have a photo online, not like current, not that I've seen recently or anything like that. And I mean, there's George Jenner, but that's a famous figure. But then there's George. Anyway, that has him in it. Right, right. Now, I mean, if it's not busy or it's important, he doesn't mind. Uh, he needs little breaks because he's got a mild injury and it's a very physical job. And but better to try and call around lunch, which varies for him, but I can guesstimate it. But I also call it sister, but I'd rather not. Anyway, well, I'll remember it and I can watch this back as well. But yeah. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I really didn't stay in touch with him very much, but I still remember him. So like, people matter to me. So like, if there was ever a Henry I was connected with, I would most likely remember pretty quickly. I'm just saying that. So again, maybe it is more for G. I will ask later. I hope you can make us up a cup of tea and stay for a bit longer. I mean, nobody else is here right now. It'd be kind of lonely. It looks like you may have left, but I'm not sure. That may be indicating wrong. Um, it's saying that there's somebody here now. But yeah, the topic that I was going to talk about, I'm sure you already have thought a lot of the same thoughts. If it's still Amy that's here, um, there is some irony to your name, not to the afterlife, but that I could maybe speak to. Especially since I just saw the husband's name in someone else's chat, like first name, and it's not super duper common either. Amy makes me think of something lovely that happened over the Christmas holidays. Although there was some, there was the sadness and stuff around the holidays too, the mixed feelings. But also a former pastor that I know, his wife was Amy. This other friend that I've been talking about, who I'm still kind of a little bit worried about, her dad is a pastor. Not that pastor, but Anyway, but I wouldn't put it past her. Just kidding. Sorry, don't mind me. uh, yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't make tea and still watch. I mean, I was just drinking coffee, wasn't it? But hopefully you'll be back. If not, I'm going to wait till somebody else is here. Yeah, it's right at the top there, too. Of course. Some of those make me kind of curious. But then also, not chords. There can be connections that we don't know about. And we find out about them or we don't remember, that we're just not close with. Yeah. I'm not seeing the Henry here. Let's get one other thing. I'm not even. Okay. Let's go do one other thing quickly. Phone's over there. I don't really want to get up. I could tell her next time, perhaps. Allie. The other thing is we all connect with people online quite a bit. And on YouTube, we don't always know people's first names. That is true. And no, I'm not going to tell you mine. Anybody. Even though some people I wouldn't mind knowing. Um, that's something we're going to put here. Um, yeah, this is unplugged in, right? Yeah. Well, yeah. I haven't unplugged it. I mean, because there was one that I knew online that comes to mind that I haven't thought of yet, but he's not an older gentleman. He's not. But, they know that I'd look into this a little bit, maybe. Um, did he? Of course he did. Um, not pass away, but although that birthday greeting celebrating you always is a little bit confusing. She didn't, I mean, partly because I was pretty adamant, I suppose, because she didn't really say that much about the message from him. Again, I don't want to say that that person wasn't good at what they do, but I am going to say that I haven't noticed yet. um, however, truth be told, there is a famous medium with that last name. I haven't watched him lately. I don't know if it's telling me to watch him and see a message that might resonate. I wouldn't mind doing that, I suppose. Yeah, there's a bit of jealousy. Uh, there's been a couple of things that I've found a little bit about what he said, but I mostly enjoy watching him, so why not, eh? You should watch what we enjoy, you know? Even though I have a bunch of other things well, since the relaunch a little less, but still quite a bit. So Peter just did something. This would be a great opportunity to have somebody here and finish what I was saying. Before I got interrupted. Just kidding. Tiker. Now I do this, but mostly for myself. Not because that's 12 months ago. Not because that's what I want, but necessarily, or all I want to do with the ability, but just kind of how it happens. A lot of people don't know how to do it. I have done it for a few people on here, but not not often. Uh, but so I'm glad that it stays active with me doing it. I don't, even though I believe in my ability quite strongly, I don't have the confidence to approach randoms, and I don't really want to interrupt people what they're doing. Unless they're there to chat with me or something comes up. But yeah, it's not something that that. Plus, I haven't said my name and I haven't said where I'm from, so you couldn't find anything anyway. But it's not something that I really post about. I just do it when I feel called to do it from the Lord and the angels. So still very warm in here, even though it's at 67. And if anybody says wants to start thinking a certain thing about that this far in, if they see this, um, I don't usually experience that, but I mean, I do have anemia. I do have health conditions that might bring it about. Just being doing 2 hours of podcasting, you know, even. Um, she's religious, but she's also about respect, which is a really great combo. This happened last time, though. She didn't really have a lot of details, though, I will say that. I mean, yeah, I was talking as well, but instead of just sitting there, she would have said, "Can you stop talking?" Well, maybe she didn't want to be rude, but I think you can say that politely. Can you stop talking so I can focus on what's being said to me? And I think she would realize that I would have understood that. Um, I'm very curious what's transpiring in this. It sounds like somebody's being a bit suicidal.
Japanese and wow, that's nice. Japanese. We have lots of friends in my YouTube. They are Japanese, but no one right now is in here because maybe they already sleep because there's a school tomorrow. Ronaldo, hello, Messi or Ronaldo? Oh yeah, I remember you, Ronaldo. How are you, Ronaldo? Yes, I work in
That's kind
healthcare
of
field.
okay. I did as best I
I
could
work
to read
in
it out.
healthcare
That
frontliner Scott.
that guy
Ronald, yes,
said something kind
Ronald.
of
Okay, be
odd,
respectful. We need to be respectful.
and
So nice.
could have just
Ken,
been the way he said his English. But
UFC Mobile. So how about I will gonna call you Sammy only. I'm owner
see,
of
and I could have left
Serpico
because I wasn't
also.
planning to
I'm
stay long.
FC
But then I
Mobile
noticed
fan.
that in the chat,
Wow.
and I
So I
feel
will
like I
gonna
meant to
call
say
you
something.
Sammy, yeah, not FC Mobile, okay?
Sorry.
But you
I'll
know,
pause that and get back to focusing here. So, I'm not sure if it's Amy back with your tea. If it is, please let me know. Because then I'll wait and we can talk. Continue. Okay, you left. So I don't know what the person thought. It's not. So I guess I'm not welcome here. Could they have really? Possibly somebody who does not feel like they fit in or belong, or feel like they often feel that kind of thing. Perhaps because of what they've been through. Likely, perhaps. I mean, why else would they feel it? Then it makes sense.
in my 1 year YouTube, I have lots of circumstances that I face. I experience lots of people with a different attitude, different behaviors, different cultures. I experience different kinds of, um, what they call that, different impact in
And then
YouTube.
sometimes we mean to
And
type something
yes,
better
and I
than we
have lots
do.
of experience about YouTube, so it's look like I'm getting more matured about YouTube and about more understanding. And thank you so much. Right now, I'm still here standing in front of you. I'm still doing my YouTube. So thank you guys to all your help. Okay, JDJ also. Hello. Hello. Yes, Sammy, how are you, Sammy? Fine. No, don't quit, Sammy. You're so nice, bro. Sammy, come on. Yes, hello, Jacob. How are you, Sammy? You don't even have a channel. That's okay. Uh, Maybe in the future he will gonna have his own channel. I just wanna help you guys for blocking Gigi. No, no, don't block Gigi. Okay, Sammy? Because you don't know Gigi, JJ. Okay? You don't know each other yet, and they are not. And guys, you are throwing bad words, so you don't need to do that. Okay? Be respectful. You need to be respectful. Filipino, yes. Shen, I am a Filipino. Okay. Yes, I am a Filipino. Shenpai, Sammy, you're nice. Okay, Sammy. And ignore. Okay, that's nice. The best thing so that we will not grow our life is just to ignore toxic minded. Prof, I have a channel. Yes, Jandel, History Prof, I have a channel. Oh, you have a channel also, Jandel? Wow, that's nice. You are Sam, right? Brother? Jandel, you didn't even have no channel also. Yes, you don't have channel also, Jandel. You want me to sub you, Jandel? Hello, Lime. How are you? Or Limen? How are you, Limen? Asian Pie. I'm not a Filipino of the iPhone. I love the cowboy game. Oh, wow, that's nice. But I'm not playing games. iPhone. Jandel. Hello, Lofam. How are you? Your girl didn't realize I'm talking
Okay,
to someone
so
else.
yes,
Thank you so much,
it was
Lofam.
really actually, and
Jandel,
I'll have
I
to
am
remember to
talking
edit
to
that
you.
later. So I'm going to stop
Hello,
that. I
Sam.
know that's in the background. So in fact, I just did, but I'm just going to go back to it now and say that the distraction was only 14 minutes long. Now I'm going to get back to the topic. Um, but was it though, or was it more like 14 to 25 minutes long? I will try and be more exact or land where you're meant to around there. Okay, good enough. And the other, okay, maybe not though, because now that person left, and or at least it looks like they have, and I'd really rather there be people here hearing it. So, I hope we don't have to wait 10 minutes for it either.
Jandal, you want me to sub you? Bye. Ima, go back, then come back. Sure, JJ. Donna, hello, how are you? Also, nice to see you. You can hear. My bro can stay long while either cat is catching up was already had is open or it's super at least extra to the anyway. You can stay long I'm rolling, but I hope you can tune into mine later. Hoping that I could. What time are you doing your mine, leading, healing? Hoping that it's not conflict on my schedule. To see you and you have a great day. Thank you so much, leading, healing. Good luck to your life again. Thank you so much. Hoping that I can catch your life also because this afternoon I have also work. Hello, Jan. I will never come back. Okay, you're done. Thank you so much,
Then
Jandel. Jandel, why you're sad? I don't know. Hello, Donna. How are you? Jandel, don't be negative about yourself. Jandel, I'm done. Oh, what's wrong with you, Jandel? Yeah, why Jandel? Three of us are more here. Hello, Stephanie. How are you? Nice to Shenpai, how are you? Ingat po. Salamat, Shenpai. Ikaw din. Donna, you're a Filipino too.
because I was
Wow,
rolling now. I don't know when she said what time is your live, but I just said
you're
I'm rolling
really,
now.
really done? Why? What's wrong with you, Jandel?
So that
Are
a
you
bit odd. But anyway,
just
so yeah, so let me just update that then. So it was actually 16, so close enough. Okay, so back to the topic. Sorry about maybe not. As soon as I click save, the person leaves. Well, they may not have known what I meant by it was only 16, and I hope they didn't misinterpret. But point of the matter is, I know who I am, I know my character, and they don't. So, but I still don't know who Henry is. Oh, Henry.
later you will know, guys. I know.
That's not meant to sound like
See,
a different laugh
there's
than
always
just I don't know.
a forced changing of mind. A quick changing of mind. So later you're gonna change your mind, Jandel. Oh, you're still pretty young. It looks like Jandel. Wow, nice. Hello, Romena. How are you?
I don't want
I'm
to.
Hamburger. I have to go cook. Okay, just go and cook. Okay? Yes. Not saying life hasn't been hard. Yes, you're right. Right, leading. Jandel, say bye-bye to delete my channel. Say, are you gonna
It's a.
delete your channel? Don't, don't pity yourself. Don't hate yourself. Okay? If you can delete your channel, you can go to the other apps to make your life happy. What's it's ever you are comfortable, just go on. It's ever you are not comfortable, just leave it.
Not bad advice. The wording a little bit iffy, but she did her best.
Don't be negative.
And yeah.
Hello, Romina. How are you? Nice to see you. Bye bye, Jandel.
Okay.
See you next.
So, yes, basically the reminder. Feel the feels. It can be deep. We can find healing. So, but when I worried about this friend passing, like I said, well, I know that I would sense her from the other side, in some way. Um, and so that gives me the comfort that, okay, I am going to, the person left. They may have thought, no, you don't know. And you don't know what I've been through. You don't know my experiences I've had either. So, um,
Like you were gonna change your mind.
I mean, yeah, she's kind of got a unique
Hello,
voice way of speaking,
Bidang.
but not for her
Bidang,
culture.
ma'am.
Anyway, but
Subscribe to your channel. Okay, Bidang. I will gonna sub
I
you
don't like
also.
who this
Sorry for
this person is because
I'm
they're calling
slow.
someone a liar.
What do you call
I
that?
don't know what that's
I'm
about.
just slow.
They seem to be
Just
calling
slow.
her one because they didn't specify it was somebody else. Uh, that's not protecting anybody.
Okay, so Bidang. Oh, you're playing? Oh, Bidang, are you an Indian? Wow, Indian boy, and you're playing instrument, piano, guitar. Wow, that's nice. I have your number 75 subscriber, Bidang.
It's just weird to see
small
that
that
there.
dyan on just a bit, or you just a bit. Oh wow, that's nice. So what is your true uh, full rated? Because if more than just a bit, then maybe 1/4 is for jam and the rest is one kind of race. Frustrated. Most of you guys call me from Blackpink from that I'm frustrated. So okay, I just understand it. Oh, you were gonna sub me? Okay, I will gonna sub you too also. Zero star. I will how what if I will gonna call you Star Wars?
So, yeah, basically, you meant to be here as you've arrived. Whatever you've missed, you can catch up later. But yeah, basically, okay, I didn't toggling well, and I didn't adjust that. It's a bit of a distraction, but I actually would have probably been better focused if no, no offense to her or anything, kind of, but if Amy had stayed or somebody else was here. See, the other day was quite active, and it varies,
It's so
but
nice. Your name is nice, eh? Star. Thank you so much. Oh, I already sub you because it's not already appear here, eh? I don't know why. Underscore. Okay, Star, I am your number 4 subscriber, Star. You think I'm saying I'm rolling now and perhaps for another 2 hours.
maybe she gets to my comment. But okay, so yeah, basically, and if you ever, if you don't already believe this and you don't have the proof, just see my content often, okay? Which does remind me of one of the other things, by the way. Um, um, so I'm just quickly putting a little note in the description here. Complete, or we got three of you here suddenly, or yeah. So okay, so watch enough of the content, and you'll see that it can very much be real. Just the previous video that they did showed so strongly, you know, that they can actually give us physical items as well. It's, I mean, I'm serious. Like, I mean, I could not believe the thing I just got the other day. I kind of can, but I kind of can't. And the person left. But you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm tired of just sitting here and waiting. It's really weird that, yeah, technically 26. We'll give it 26, uh, which may seem like a lot, but whatever. Um, but I'm going to want to put these on all of them. So I don't know, you know, what it might be, and this is where I might be open to things. Uh, what it might be is like kind of like channel rules, because I've seen that on some people's channels. I remember, I'll never forget one I saw, uh, where it's good to kind of have those kind of run with road. I'll never forget. I once saw somebody saying, "Be the person your grandmother would be proud of," or something like that. And I think most people like their grandparents, even though they may be older or strict. I think a lot, most people, their grandparents are special to them. I haven't heard too many stories of people who don't. G, apparently his grandparents used to kind of talk bad about his parents sometimes, but you know his parents, also from what I know, um, maybe weren't the greatest at times either. I mean, we're all human, but I mean, and I don't mean to, I don't know a whole lot to say it. I don't really, want to put any of them down. But yeah, the point of the matter is that anyway, one thing I am kind of curious about though is I thought I just saw something jump there, but I guess not, or move there. One thing I am kind of curious about though is and if he's so quick to say that, then never mind. There's two people I've tried to be nice to, but maybe they're not great. So yeah, I mean I can tell you lots of experience that I've had that say that it's real. So there's that. Then I'm kind of okay. I said in the description that it was only 26 minutes long. Part of it is because it's been a bit quiet here, and I had a bit of a rest, so that was good. But part of it is because it's been a bit quiet, and I was rather waiting till somebody tunes in. But because I put that little marker spot there, um, if anybody does, they might make their way this far in. So, yeah, hopefully. Um, I may do it to just to have the two sections, beginning, distraction, final thoughts and words. I don't know for on the topic for this stream anyway. But basically, um,
Okay, bye bye, leading. Thank you so much. See you next time. Take good care of yourself. Oh, you're busy with event. Okay, Jander. Okay, AK. Farmang Kinos Farming leading. Bye bye. See you, leading Helen. Thank you so much. Be right back.
so yeah, you can. Sorry, just wanted there to be somebody to hear this because again, it's a topic that we all relate to. I mean, you can say, "How do you know you don't know me?" No, I know things that are human. You know, and anyway, again, for the reason mentioned, I'm just gonna say this and then see where we're at after I say this. If there's anybody here chatting, I'll stay longer. If there's not, I'll probably have my lunch. Not that I sometimes don't have a meal with my viewers, whether they're eating as well or not. They don't usually mind, but I don't remember actually really people sometimes being here when I eat. They don't, eat when I eat either, but they're just not usually here at those moments. Or I don't know. Sometimes they're the shy ones, but or whatever. But anyway, basically,
Back, AK. Okay. Give me admin, please. AK short. Give me admin, please. And you can worry that. Okay. after it's rock bottom, hope is
No
life.
volume, so
Life.
low volume.
Hoping, yes, hoping we can catch the light leading away. iPhone, I love snow. Oh, you love snow. I hate snow. I love snow if there's only a month, but it takes 5 months. Oh, I hate snow. Bye, I'm busy with grow a garden. Okay, Chandra, see you next time. The event soon. Okay. Leave me admin. Please,
So yeah,
admin.
basically you can um, have yeah. So then I was kind of left with, well, what if it was me though that passed away? Like that's uncomfortable too, because even if there's not a lot in this chapter of life, there soon may be. There are some, and a lot of people, and you know, a lot to live for in some ways. But no, that is something I think is changing for me. And if you relate to that but feel like it's not uh, something not quickly improving for you, or you don't have anything that's giving you a glimmer of hope, um, I guess I'll be that for you and say that. I mean, or I know that I thought just for a moment that may have came across a little weird how I said I guess. Hopefully, it won't come across weird to say I'll be that for you. Also, I just want to remember just quickly, since I don't. Rather than that, I'm thinking of that a little bit in corners of my mind as well. I must remember to tell Elizabeth about the Glory Wall show, because some of the things she was talking about made me think of it. But and that's the thing. That's the thing, because it's important to ask yourself. I mean, a lot of people do fear passing away. I mean, it's the fear for them, especially, of the unknown. You know, that's the same reason people have anxiety, right? Um, and it's the same reason why people, you know, and it does make a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense. So what you can do to try and help with that is to get uh, if it's somebody that makes you anxious, get to know them a little bit more. And if you're still feeling anxious, well then if it's online, you can do certain measures, and if it's in person, you can hopefully avoid them. And if you can't easily, then talk to others who you feel might feel this, who you feel like you've noticed for whatever reason might feel the same way, or that just you know or you might have to make some changes, like if it's a coworker or whatever. Maybe not changing jobs, but changing the department you work in, maybe if possible. Working on a different part of the building. You know, if it's easier said than done in some areas, but I think there's always ways. But yeah, just or thinking things through can help too, right? So yeah, basically, um, but I'm not anxious about that, because about like as far as like the afterlife, because I believe in it, and I feel some pretty good feelings about it. But when I truly think about it, like when I've been dealing with my health struggles or whatever, and I think about those and what I would leave behind, that's where the mixed feelings come in. But I'll tell you this much. So, um, think about what have I left behind. You know, this may be long into the future. None of us knows when we're going to pass away. I mean, unless we really have serious health issues and we're like, you know, at you know, you know. Um, but some people can get through health issues and be like miracles. I was hearing somebody talking about that just the other day, and that was just by fluke or by chance. I mean, I saw a friend of mine interviewing somebody that she knew, and he's had some difficulties in his life, and it's amazing that he's still alive, to be honest. And so he was just simply talking about that. It wasn't necessarily the main topic. Anyway, so point of the matter being is that, well, and there was three people there for a moment, but and they gradually petered out. But,
Can give me admin, please.
I really am hoping that.
Donna, okay.
Okay, let's see. Has anybody said anything to what I'm saying? Because I was scrolled up, so I didn't even notice. Because she's reading out the comments. Just gotta be careful doing that. Look at them first. Because I want to read them. Other people who may not otherwise see them know as well, right? But yeah, so basically, meant to be here, meant to tune in at the spot you've tuned in on, and I'm glad to have you here. Um, what I feel is my legacy, or what I'm putting out in the world, is what I feel like I would suggest other people do. And some people already do this. They don't necessarily need the suggestion. But, sorry, just plugging in my laptop. I'm going to put my coffee in the fridge, I think. I know I just plugged that in. What I'm going to do, well, and like I say, if the duration mark doesn't show to anybody, and I've made a bit of progress with the topic, kind of getting back onto it. But what I'm going to do, I think, because I do have to run upstairs very, very quickly, is I'm going to put my little note that I sometimes put here. But that being said, there's two people, so I'll keep rolling. I can ignore that for a minute. The other thing I have to do. So yeah, basically, not trying to tell people what to do, but I think that this is pretty good. Okay, whatever. I'll wait because if you haven't left, it looks like you have. Briefly go, but good thing I noticed that typo. I would have said under 56 minutes, and then people would have been like, "Well, I'm not going to wait 56 minutes," and you might not even have to wait 5, because yeah, basically what I'm trying to get out. Okay, so I was going to say somebody was just there for a moment, but I tell you those flashers at the top sometimes. We should go to this different flasher for once. No filter sometimes, but hey, we're this far in and gotta be silly a little bit sometimes. Um, um, and yeah. said, thinking about what I was out doing the other day, kind of makes me want to have my lunch. And a bit more later with pasta. I mean, I gotta finish that stuff up. I used it. I don't know exactly what I need. I don't know if it's going to seem like there's enough sauce in there. I really don't have enough. I guess the dog could have that. Probably alright. Okay, I'll be right back on the screen. I mean, I suppose it might not be obvious to some that when I'm talking about on the screen that meal, sir, soya, that I'm not talking to you, but I am. In a moment, I'll be saying, here's looking at you. Take a look at the little guy. Hmm. Hmm. So, curious to check out some of the content though and see how her channeling looks like. And even though one of the animals I talked about you could say is a little bit of a fairy, the other one isn't. So, and with that example, it was so simple yet so special. It might be, yeah, like I said, third meal of this. I put some in the pasta. I had a little bit when we got home with it. I have some now, and there might still be some. Anyway, that example was a perfect example. If I just need that one positive thing to replace that connection I was making in my mind that wasn't as it wasn't that as much nice to be focusing on, and then boom, it's kind of like I feel like that actually really quite fixed it, for me. And Ray says to me, "You're welcome, buddy. Good to see you eating well, having a nice lunch. It's just really good to see you." That it hasn't been that long, but yeah. I was about to throw some nuts in these, but I had some at lunch. I'll probably have some as a snack later. There's not that many left either. I feel like it needs something else, even though there's a few things here, but I don't know what it is, and I am thankful. I am thankful for the meal. Part of it is it's kind of ricey. I'm not big about rice. Well, I don't hate it either, but even though they might both be considered carbs, it's actually kind of good with pasta. Or pasta, if you prefer. Mr. Harris also, really? Okay, okay. Ah. Um, so yeah, basically, I hope you don't mind that I'm eating as well. Trying to do it, what's the word? With good etiquette? Okay, you laughed. Well, at least it looks like you have. Yeah, I don't know if that comment from that guy is to me, but even though I still connect it with the name Amy for reasons I said before, and also something from my past. Somebody didn't know. Um, that's bizarre. But I think he must not have meant me because he said that kind of he does not. Mm. Okay, he was leaving. Things have picked up. Well, again. Why is that still showing? That's bizarre. Makes me feel pretty good. Hmm. I didn't eat a lot this morning. This is actually pretty good with a bit of salt. And, just about this. It's because it's not going to have it right here, but I also really wanted to top it and tried to. Last night before bed, we tried to call Andrew on my tablet, and I only heard the laptop ringing with him calling. I don't know. I really don't know where it is. It's really annoying. That may have died by then. I know there's an app that you can use that I think even works if it has died, but you have to have it. Anyway, but yeah. So, yeah, I'm probably going to finish this all now. At this rate, yeah, that's right. The sauce is kind of a weird color, especially on this container. But um, hmm, hmm. Let me just tuck that for a moment. I don't know if I want to find otherwise, but I think she's been doing better. Hmm, hmm. Federico? I don't think so. Anyway, I wonder if she's drumming up a storm though. See, like she's an example. She's someone I don't think she minds, but yeah, I've watched them eat when she's live and not really noticed if she's told me that she doesn't want me to plug myself. Because she looks at the comments because she's taking song requests and she is chatting a little bit. So, anyway, I still haven't fully said the statement, and I'm really sorry about that. I just as much as you, if you're here, would love if I had. But anemia, like I say, sometimes I'm most motivated when there's somebody there.
Want everyone to be happy. Hoping that next live when I'll do my stream, only those people who have a positive minded, not a negative vibe, who gonna join our live to make our life so smooth and made more active and alive.
So, oh, is it okay? So, maybe it's Jen's tuning in now. Or whoever it is, I'm really glad that you're here. You're welcome here. You're meant to be here. I most likely feel that, and so don't be shy. So I have been gradually kind of talking about a certain topic, which you can see what you missed later if you like. Um, this, see, we're starting to get motivated, and it looks like you laughed. What I'm going to tell myself right now, but then after this, I don't know if I really have anything particularly to say, and some people they would rather just come in and listen to say or music to play. They'd rather just come in and listen, and that does kind of something makes me kind of think of a song, but I don't think it's a song I would do. And honestly, it's got a bit of a funny melody, like a weird rhythm to it. Not like it's popular, it's liked, and I don't hate it myself, to be honest. But and it's not that I don't feel I could do it. I think I even remember the name of the the person that does do it, but or the group or whatever. But um, basically, um, yeah, I'm much more motivated when there's somebody listening. Well, he has some takes. He does. I will open that though for later. Doing that reconnecting thing. Now it's like it's almost as if it's telling me, although I know I don't. But almost as if it's telling me, you're just starting now. But still, without anybody here, and also that's not true, and I know it. Uh, that previous statement, which was more just for me to hear. I think it's not that it was anything that you need to like. Well, I'm really rather hear it because like, what are you saying? I mean, I'm not thinking ill towards thoughts about anybody really. It's just it's just an internal dialogue. It's just yeah. It was just something I actually said to myself to try and motivate me to get back on topic, but it didn't really work because um, it didn't. No, because um, nobody's watching right now. So, but I'm glad the 3 likes still show because I know that was being wonky, like I say the other day. I'm not sure why there's that gap there. So it's not just about me. I'm saying, hope you're well, hope she's having a good day, blah blah. But anyway, so again, A lot of people already do this naturally. They don't really need to hear it. And honestly, I'm not too sure if the people that don't would know if I think they would. I think it's obvious to lots of other people, but I don't know if they would otherwise know. But basically, and just so you know, by the way, I'm hoping if you chat and you put comments, I will see them on one of the two devices here or both. But if you don't, or if you are putting them and I'm not reading them, I'm not seeing them. um, but anyway, basically, but I hope that I do, and yeah. So basically, the I'm here on YouTube in the world, but things have been a bit quieter and slower in life. They are, I think, going to pick up again soon. But so more so on YouTube these days, but no, still not only because that wouldn't be that wouldn't be make any sense. Just like the person that looks like they were here and then left, maybe they didn't, but if they did, that doesn't make much sense. Um, but maybe they're thinking, what, you practically just said you live on YouTube? No, I live on land, on Earth, you know. But somewhat, I do feel that, though. I mean, and whether if someone is a watcher or a poster, they've got to feel it too, I would imagine. You know, they might not really have ever put it into words necessarily, but yeah, they've. I would imagine. Oh, look at that! I happened to click it. Just so happened. I'm going to ask you to skip ahead maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but if you do and there's nothing there, then and there's not much else to the video, then skip forward 5 or 10 minutes, and I probably have finished my thought. And I don't know if people tune in and decide to chat. I'm happy to chat with them. I'm almost thinking of.
Different types of
Well, that's all we
varieties.
did. To be honest.
The
Oh,
variety that
in a
grows
home.
best in my zone
They
is
shouldn't judge it.
June-bearing variety. So to my knowledge, I know that there's two varieties of strawberries. The type that is called year-round, ever-bearing berries, meaning all throughout the year they give you berries. And then there's also June-bearing, well, they'll give
I
you a
say
big
one
crop
of. Like
in
at
the
this
month
light, they
of
probably
June
cover
the
more than
following
one. And
spring.
maybe I have.
In my zone, I hear that June-bearing crops do better because it just gets so hot in my zone.
Okay, funny,
We
but she
want
doesn't
the
tell me.
berries to be offloaded
Maybe she's
before
Latin.
the strawberries to be harvested before the really hot
Not
Texas
that it matters.
100-degree Fahrenheit heat comes. So, Jonathan, strawberries are hard to cook. Okay, consider the variety, Jonathan. So you're like Georgia.
So yeah, is putting out there goodness, basically goodness um, in all the ways. Um, in front of there because I thought it was my chat for a moment, and the person seems to have left.
Just similar to my
As I
zone.
say, I'm putting out their goodness. Kind of a weird thing to like not even give. Maybe they meant to give a like. Maybe they think, why are you bragging about it? I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying the truth.
Right, I would make sure that you
They didn't say I was, but
a June-bearing variety.
but why I'm saying it is because not only does that make others feel good, but it makes me feel pretty good. You know, loved ones that I've had pass away, especially the one that's been, on my mind quite a bit lately. Um, you know, they've
Because then
they've
it focuses on giving you that one big crop, and that kind of goes dormant the
been
rest
that
of
in
the
the
season,
world,
which works well, I think, for really hot climates. Strawberries are cool season crops. They are right. Actually,
and
I gotta agree with this. Yeah, I think they
it
really
has
are.
made a positive impact on people's lives, including mine, of
What
course.
happened to the new soil block with the seed? Huh? What do you mean? This one? I didn't get a new soil block though. This is the one that I've always had. Was it row? Do you? So Ro, you're saying they're really nice in pots, so you can move them. That is true, Ro. I do like that. I want to try and use my strawberries as ground cover, though. You know how strawberries are, they will propagate and grow new babies. So I'll just start with two, but you know that, like, by the end of this year, I'll have, like, six. And and I'm gonna let
I don't
those
know if
grow
over
and start
there
my
with the
strawberries
radio and
like that way.
even when I'm not talking with the person,
Leaving,
really,
hello, good day. Okay, well, good thing. Good to see you. Push hello, welcome. Like the hat, thank you. You like the hat, thank you. Yay! I know it has been unseasonably warm in several areas, right? And this is not typical January weather. It feels like spring, you guys. As it probably does in your zones. It probably feels like spring. Ro, I didn't know that. Yes, yes, yes. So, Ro, I think the ever-bearing varieties, the ones that give you berries all year round, are best suited to climates where it's cool all year round. Like I would say, I don't know, in the northern part of the U.S., parts of Canada, maybe the central part of Canada, probably best suited to those areas. But in my zone, it gets so hot. I'm just like trying to keep my strawberries alive in July, alright? I'm not expecting it to produce any berries. It's just trying to stay alive. So, I'm like I was telling you guys, I think anytime you grow a strawberry, you do want to think about
I'm just bored and waiting for
putting
someone to
in
tune in.
other
That's what I'm
plants
doing right
that
now.
will give it
They don't even have to
canopy or
chat. Just be
shade
there
during the
listening. I'm
hottest
good
times
with
of
that.
the year.
But if they do, that's
I was
great.
gonna try and I have like one tree out in my front yard. It's not this one. This one's
Not a strawberry. Oh, I
there's
see.
another one kind of further out in the lawn. But
It's the truth
it's
here.
dying, so I don't know. I'll have to figure out a replacement or something. All right, I'm getting distracted, but okay. So I got food. I know you guys are like, why are you using styrofoam? Well, it's because it's what my dad gave
Just
me
did what
when
I
he gave
often
me
do.
his
I know you guys are probably thinking blah blah
so I'm
blah.
just trying to get as much life out of it as
Maybe I
possible
shouldn't suggest that sometimes because they might
before
not have
I
been.
then trash it. Oh yeah, Lisa, I have quite a few. Here's the other one. This one also does have
They're not even
seeds.
saying
It's just
anything
that
about that, but maybe that's for the past.
depending on
Haven't
how
been in their
well
videos
I
that much.
planted
I
my
don't
seeds,
know many
sometimes they
people.
do really well. This is a better example. And then sometimes they don't do as well. Unfortunately, I didn't label this, so I don't even know what I planted in here. I want to say it's Chinese cabbage, but I'm not sure actually. Not sure. You'll see the what seeds in the middle are just sitting dormant for now. No, Lisa, he just grows in his backyard. And actually, it was only because I started a garden that he started one. Is that funny? Like I inspired him to garden. So actually, I'm more advanced of a gardener than he is. It's fun. The other day, oh, and Lisa, you're asking me. So some of the seeds. The other day, my dad came by and dropped off something that I needed, and I gave him like 3 seed packets. It was broccoli,
Okay, I
cauliflower,
think she
and my
went
dad.
past my comment. Well, she did say a little bit, but she went past that comment. Whether she minded or not, I don't know. Um, Maybe she just thought to herself, yeah, I'll try and check it out later. But I need it now. I'm just kidding. But I mean, we're this far in, so, you know. And I mean, I'm not entirely kidding, but mostly. Well, my angels want to prove that it's real since I've been going on about that, and some people may not have seen my videos before. And again, I really appreciate the YouTube community and those that chat. Obviously, I value that. But, I have this ability and this gift, and I appreciate it too. So, um, I do feel a smidgen chilly, but even as I'm talking about it. But whether I'm chilly enough to put on this sweater or not yet, I don't know. But basically, but this is why I wear that thing, and maybe I should just wear this thing. Most people don't ask about it. Some people may. I bet I've noticed I haven't been wearing it, and still some people don't stick around. So they ain't necessarily judging it. And it's also about my comfort, not just, yours, which I do consider too. I mean, some people maybe not. They're like, I'm comfortable. I don't care whether you are. I do care whether you are, but I care more whether I am. And there's nobody even here watching anyway right now. And the good, lovely people that chat, yeah, I care about you guys for sure. The other ones, I don't know, because they don't know you, basically. So, okay, I'm going to hope that somehow they nudge certain people, my angels nudge certain people in to see this. Um, it's only one bar, but it's still a bit early to call him. I, what I'm thinking though is I don't know why my mind went to that guy's name being Henry if it wasn't. And then I did a quick search and found a Frederico, Fred. None of that sound. It almost does, but none of that sounds familiar. So, but it was. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, let me just quickly look at that again. Just from. Oh, did I close it? I did. I'll look again though. Uh, how long ago was that too? That's the other thing. Easy. Um, Consolation. That's an interesting name. It's an Asian name, apparently. Might also be African, but in this case it's not. Yeah, actually that is. Either that or he's got two daughters with the same name as the person I was thinking of. I'm not going to keep that open though because I know G's not going to want to talk about that person. So, and then that's interesting. That was at the end of the road, and then it went back to 3 in where I'm at with this. I really do almost want to call him, but he left work early the other day. He's been away some outside of the holidays, and I could just really quick, and you could say he asked me, was it busy at the moment, or did I have a moment? And if he has a moment, great, and if he doesn't, later's fine. Hello, how's it going? Sounds like it's pretty quiet there right now. I must just have good noise cancellation. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I got you at a good moment then, so to speak. You're just taking a bit of a break as well. Okay. All right. I was rolling, but it has been a little quiet at the moment. And but earlier somebody was there and they brought up something I've been trying to figure out, and so I thought I'd call you. Do you have an older person named Henry that's passed away connected to you or a pet? Yeah, nobody came to mind for me either. Not especially also not being older. I hate to discredit this person, and well, she didn't really say much, but it is true that she said, or maybe it was a pet. So she didn't even know that whether it was a person or not, and I've never gotten the two confused, but I'm mostly communicating with those that I'm familiar with, so I don't know. I'm going to watch her content in a little bit, so I don't have much to say yet because I haven't really yet. But okay, just thought I'd ask. For a moment, I thought you know who, but but she said that well, she did say that it was family ties. Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm not even aware of all my family, but I guess neither of us are entirely. But okay, well, who knows? I guess it's a big unknown then. Anywho, might be having a visit myself shortly, and yeah, hopefully some people in the chat, and hopefully you get off of work early today. Okay, We'll talk to you later. Bye. What do I truly think about that one point that I made? Well, if she wasn't being given a lot of information, just the name, then she would have had to have filled it in herself. So I guess that kind of makes possible sense, but still neither of us, you know, but the other thing that also kind of makes sense that just came into my mind just now is that would it likely be someone that I feel like I connect with in this way often because they connect with me? I mean, it would have been cool, and every medium channels differently, but they already connect with me. I don't really need anybody to help me make that connection most of the time. But if it's somebody that I have not been sensing that I'm connected to, then maybe I do. I'm really getting curious about her content, though, so I think I'm going to check that out soon, and I do want to, again, go upstairs soon, and I'd rather, even if it wasn't for long, I'd rather not be off the screen and make people wait, because, yeah, sometimes I'm a little longer than I think I'm going to be, but I'm never much more than 5 minutes. I mean, one, because I'm eager to get back to it, even if there's nothing happening, and nobody's chatting or whatever. I might have things I want to speak about that have came to mind while I was doing other stuff, or doing the couple of things I sometimes go up there for. I may be curious who has tuned in, and yeah, I don't like to. I try, but I haven't figured out how to do the filler. And this filmmaker, she's actually still on YouTube herself. In fact, she probably could learn a lot from me, which will feel actually in some ways really good to show her that. I'd rather not do it in public, but anyway. But at least we'll be with G, and yet, well, not really well, leave my girlfriend. I think it'd be nice for us to meet. We don't have to be out for that long, and if he'd like to leave early, then he leaves early and misses what he misses, and then I can decide what really is important to tell him and what he doesn't need to know about, because, it's kind of stuff that he might not really be interested in, kind of thing. And I might not either, but, we can't, people are going to say or tell us the things they're going to tell us, and we do our best with that. I mean, yeah, we can hope that people, as they have some familiarity with us, or even if we express certain things, then they know what areas to either be careful with or not mention, but, and hopefully would respect that. But other than that, they don't know. So, But anyway, yeah, I do think, though, that I'm going to, that's a thoughtful thing to think, isn't it? Anyway, I do feel, though, that I do want to do some other stuff and probably wrap up soon. So, if it wasn't, I do feel like I also finished my thought. I did. Now, I was going to go until this had to be plugged in, because I unplugged it a little while ago, but it's at 89%, so even with this phone, unless I do remember it during the 70-something, but again, I think it makes more sense if there was just a 7 in the number, but then I sometimes remember things exactly as they are. I don't remember 70 what, but it's like if it was 17 or 27 or 37 or any of that, I think I would remember that as that. That being said, I don't remember what in the 70s it would have been if so. So, I don't know. And we don't remember everything, right? But do you remember what I say about this? Anywho. But yeah, so I think I said it though, do your best to be a good person, be kind, not create drama or be in conflict often. And, some people would say, well, when we pass away, I mean, first of all, it should matter anyway. It's a more pleasant way to be in life. But second of all, some people may think, but when we pass away, or they might more likely say die, we die, what does it matter? But again, you hear enough of my experiences or other people that have had experiences, and then, eventually, when you're meant to have some yourself, and you'll be like, okay, there is more than just life here in the physical, and so, yeah, I'm agnostic, but there's definitely a fairly large part of me that believes that that only the good people. I mean, not necessarily saying that people that make a few mistakes in life and have flaws as humans don't make it up there, but certain types of people, I think, definitely don't. I mean, it's not just because I want it that way, but it just makes sense to me to feel that. And a great response to someone that says, not that I'm ever told this very often or whatever, hardly ever. I can't even remember if even once. See you and you know where. It's like, well, I'm not going to be there, so, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, you know, I mean, I personally don't feel like one has to be a believer in religion. Some people say it's not enough to be a good person. You have to do all this and do all that to make it to heaven, and we don't have to debate about that. But I feel as long as you're a good person, truly a good person, you'll get there. And yeah, so it's kind of like, and it is a very beautiful thing to leave behind for friends, family, online communities, and such. Um, you know, um, being a good person, being a kind person, being a thoughtful about others type of person. Um, so uh, I've been through a lot. I've lost some people quite young. Uh, this the one that most recently, which was well, not most recently because that one's 104, but the young one most recently. I mean, that one stands out probably because it was so recent, and I do chat with her quite often. But um, others, uh, I mean, yeah, and some others probably too. But at the moment, yeah, it's kind of like yeah. So but it's I think it makes a lot of sense when you worry about someone passing away. You then possibly worry about yourself passing away. I had a lot of time. The weather was iffy. The chat was fairly active, and it put a lot of got made me thinking about a lot of stuff. So I did, and I rarely do, but I did a 5.5 hour stream recently, and I believe it was that one. In the latter hour, maybe even latter half hour, and then there was one. I think it was about. I can't remember how long it was. I'm getting some confused, but that one for sure. There was some topics that, there was the topic of like, if you feel that and or strongly know that you're dying, here's some things to know. Or if you're with somebody that's passing away, and you know that that's coming, some things to keep in mind. You may or may not be guessing them, just hearing that. But I welcome you to check that out and comment on the video. Other than that, that's about it, I would say, for this one. But yeah, you'll feel a whole lot better if you know that you have lived your best life, did or tried to do the things that you wanted to do in it, and been a good person. And it will be hard. I think no matter who any of us are, for the most part, we're going to leave loved ones behind, or friends behind, in communities. And they will miss us. But they will also find ways to still feel connected. They will also find ways to keep our legacy alive. They will also have ways to, you know, find the healing and acceptance and even maybe feel some joy and special things even when you passed away. And for me, and hopefully for you, that makes the thought of it a little bit lighter. It's like, okay, so you know what? They'll be all right. They'll be all right. I'll be with them. If it happens, then, then it does. So, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on all that. And everybody take care. Be kind, be nice to each other. And I look forward to chatting with you soon. Bye.